everybody. Welcome to everybody's favorite talk show back on a normal Tuesday evening from Texas. Showtime Bobby Chappie right here. Iceman Rodney Rodriguez at the Rodney R on the right-hand portion of your screen. Yeah, you forgot the Race America intro, but that's okay.
Yeah, we'll get them later.
Yeah.
We'll get them later on. Well, you know what? We'll get it. You know that it's like tradition now that we have to hear from our man Gordon, right? You know that's kind of doesn't feel right unless Jeff Gordon's talking to us, right? Let's listen to Jeff.
I'm Jeff Gordon, and you're watching Racing America.
There it is.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
We appreciate that, buddy. It's our man, Jeff Gordon, our pal. It's a good dude right there. Yeah, Tuesday night, back to Tuesday night as it's finally starting to cool off down here a little bit. We've had some
nice
cool morning.
this morning.
Oh man, it's excellent in the morning. I did a car show on Sunday up here in Austin over at Q2 Stadium for partnership with Austin FC, and we went out and it was cloudy. It was supposed to rain, whatever. So it ended up getting shortened, but it was so pleasant out there. There was a little bit of a breeze blowing in. I looked down, it was like 78. Man, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. But the heat's coming back by the end of the week.
Yeah, I know. It sucks, but it'll be all right. It's supposed to be down to the 60s tonight. 65, I thought, is what I saw earlier. So
ooh, that's excellent right there. That's the cool thing about it now, because when you get to race this part of racing season, that's where, whether you're spectating or racing or whatever you may be doing, and you start heading out to these events, you have, that cool. It's a hell of a lot more tolerable, because those days when we're out there in May, June, July, August, hell, usually September, you get out there and it's painful. A lot of times out there, I would always question myself. I'm like, what am I doing here? This is ridiculous. But yeah, when that stuff starts to cool down a little bit, that definitely helps.
I know. Remember, it was always Oktoberfest before you get a little chill here and there in September, but it never failed, man. That Oktoberfest weekend, it was always the first weekend in October. Friday night be hot as hell. You be drinking beer, partying in the pits on Friday or early Saturday morning. Here come the cold front next night, and you'd be sitting there in a jacket and needing gloves because it'd be rolling in. When it'd be cold, I'm talking like lows in the upper 50s, which for some places that watch this show isn't very cold, but for us Texans who are used to 113-degree heat index in the middle of August, it pops down into the low 60s and upper 50s. It's cold as Hades out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We welcome everybody in on YouTube, Facebook, X, all the different places. And if you're going to catch us on the podcast, audio podcast afterwards, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, do whatever you do along those lines. RevvedUpSportsShow.com, of course, is the home base right there for everything, including Revved Up merchandise, courtesy of one of our title show sponsors, On Demand Shirts. Great interview that we had last week with James Cole. James talking about a lot of the different things that On Demand Shirts has been doing with racing, and they continue to grow that relationship with racetracks and race cars and drivers and so forth, just ever growing, as well as audiovisual consultations. Thanks to those great folks as well for setting up the home speedway system. On the program tonight, coming up in a matter of minutes, coming up in about 5 minutes or so, it's a young dudes night on the program where we talk to a couple of the young stallions that are doing amazing things around the country. First, we're going to go over along the Gulf Coast a little bit. We'll talk to young Carter Taylor as the winner there of the Outlaw 100 at Mobile this past weekend, among other things that he's done this year. Then we'll come back down to our own neck of the woods down here and talk to a young Colton Birmingham around 7:35. Dude sitting right at the top of IMCA rookie points. So, cool to talk to some of the young blood tonight, because like we say, they're the ones that keep the stuff going for us old folk.
That's right. If it ain't for the next generation, got to come from somewhere. So good thing we gonna see them in full swing and all doing good things. One of them comes from a racing family for sure. So
yeah, no doubt about it. Speaking of youngsters, what'd you think of this lady last week?
The Karen with the, at the end of the day, it was the kid's birthday, right? So he won. She got her ball and went home, but yet he got the signed bat. He got the the thing of swag there. Like the kid won for his birthday, but I don't know. I mean, the dad could have put up a little bigger fight, but I understand he
Yeah,
was trying to
that's
de-escalate the situation. But the dad could have told her to jump off a cliff, or whatever, get the hell out of there. But
oh man, so that was the thing. Again, I would have probably overreacted, I'm sure, because I would have sat there and probably already had about 6 big beers by that point. But like when she walks up and the dad's like,
yeah,
I'm like,
taps him on the shoulder, and the dad's all like, oh,
I'm like, dude, come on. I mean, I totally get it. You don't want to cause a scene or anything like that. But it's like, I mean, this lady is, and I don't even know if it's real or not. But I saw something on social media to where she's saying, well, all this has happened. This kid's a star because of me, which I don't know. But there are a lot of selfish people in the world, so maybe she did say that. I don't know. But it's like, come on, man. It's a baseball. I totally get that. It's your team. It's your whatever. It's really cool to catch a fly ball. I've caught a fly ball or two, and it is really cool. But when it all comes down to it, I mean, give it to the kid, right? I mean, shit.
I think you have to. I mean, like, when you find out it's his birthday,
Hell, I got one here. I mean, it's. I think I caught this at. I think this is over at Dell Diamond that I caught, and I gave it to one of the girls, and of course they've grown and left, and here it is. So it meant that much to them. But
full circle, it came back.
Yeah,
came back home.
Yeah, see, this is
like a lost puppy. It came back.
My baseball. Don't touch my baseball. Lighten up, lady. I mean that's just a little too much, but yeah, that was the big headline grabber right there. Is all of that goes down, and it just goes to show you, man, we live in a different world right now where people are going to raise a bunch of stink for stuff that's really not very relevant, and that goes. So race fans, don't be that lady at the track. Calm down. Calm down.
That's the problem with most of the kids. It's usually not the kids that are the problem. It's the parents that are the assholes and causing the problems.
I know. Yeah, that's
For everything from little league all the way up to go-karts, quarter midgets, legend cars.
Well,
hell, big cars now, late models to some extent.
Well,
if you get on up in your early tweens and 13s, 14s.
And I totally get, where it's like, if I would have, people always ask me, they're like, are you disappointed that your girls didn't want to be a part of, I mean, any sport, not, but it's like racing or whatever. And I'm like, no, yeah. I think if I'd have had a son, it'd have been more where I would have, kind of tried to, if it was
push a little harder.
Yeah.
For Rodney Jr. to go racing.
Yeah, if it was something that he was going to be interested in, yeah, maybe. But with the girls, when the girls were young, we used to go out and I'd toss the baseball to them, and they'd try to hit and try to catch and all that. And I knew instantaneously that neither one of them were going to be worth a flying shit at sports. So it was like, okay, we're going to let them do their own thing. But
I know your girls, and they aren't remotely interested in racing.
Yeah,
they care less about it than my wife.
the oldest one played soccer. Her mom put her in soccer, and that girl's out there picking daisies and shit. And the dude's running by with a ball, and I'm like, I'm like, that didn't last very long. So, and then the youngest just never anything, So that's okay.
She was on a dance team.
Yeah, she did dance. They both did dance at one point, and the oldest one got into football, when she went to college, but she put it all together. It's like, let's see, football, tailgating, barbecue, beer.
Yeah.
I like football. She don't care about it now. So there you go. That's how that all works. We can actually probably talk football with our first guest, because I have a sneaking suspicion, as we welcome in right here to the Revved Up Sports Show for the first time. This dude's doing some really, really good things. Wins the Outlaw 100 over at Mobile International Speedway this past Saturday night. It is our man, Mr. Carter Taylor. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Oh man, doing well. Let's kind of talk on that. So you're a junior over at Resurrection Catholic School. Looking at some of the Facebook stuff and so forth. Are you playing football right now too?
Yes, sir, I am.
My man.
So this will be our third game this Friday.
So how's the season going so far for you guys?
So our first game we played we're a little 1A school and we played a bigger 2A school. We lost to them 35-7, which that's with us only having 18 kids on the
Wow.
varsity team. So everybody's pretty much having to play both ways, and it's kind of hard for us to practice on offense and defense against each other. So that was kind of our practice week, and then this past week we played a team that was almost as small as us, and we beat them 68-0.
Woo!
This Friday we play a team they have a lot more bigger people than we do, and we've been practicing really hard and kind of using these first couple games as more of a practice for us since we don't have as many people. So far it's not going too bad.
Love it, man.
So what's positions? What tight end, wide receiver, cornerback? What's your all of them? What's your
So
positions on the team there?
I play defensive end and offensive guard.
Nice.
Offensive guard. Wow, nice. I wouldn't have thought that. I'd have thought you'd have been a tight end or a quarterback or a wide receiver. So, so kind of talk. So we're in Texas. I'm sure you kind of figured that part out. So we're in Texas. For you guys, is it as and we will get to racing here at some point, but now the football thing's going. Is it as bitter over there for you guys as it is here? This Thursday and Friday nights here, man, are just off the rails when it comes to high school football.
They definitely are. Especially we have a bunch of high schools that's within 30, 45 minutes between each other, and it's definitely a big deal around here between Thursdays and Friday nights, and even Saturday nights in some cases.
Absolutely.
All right, what's your college preference over there? You know, I've got to assume. I'm assuming it's an SEC school, one of them anyway. What's your college of choice over there for Saturday evenings over there? Saturday afternoons, Saturday evenings.
Well, most of my family is an Ole Miss fan or Mississippi State fan, but I'm a little bit different, and I like LSU, whether they like it or not. But I still like LSU.
Dude, it's so great being a part of the SEC now. I get to do a sports radio show in the morning, and right now it's just so much fun. It is just absolutely so much fun. So let's go to Saturday night with you guys there in the Outlaw 100, extended laps and so forth. Kind of take us through the day right there. Pretty stacked field and a hell of a run there for you in the 923.
Well, yes, sir. So obviously Friday night I had the football game, so we couldn't make it to the open practice. So we had went Thursday and only got one or two runs in, just enough to make sure that the car nothing was just going to fall off of it. So Friday night we played the football game, and Saturday actually I had to wake up and go take the ACT.
Oh,
So I went and took the ACT, and then I left straight from there, which it was in Moss Point. I left straight from there, and I went to the racetrack. We got everything unloaded and everything, and practiced the car. The car really wasn't where we wanted it to be. We were kind of having some problems with tires and the way that they were turning out, especially a new set that we had practiced on. And we changed a couple things in the car before qualifying, and it got a little bit better. We qualified fourth, and with the dice roll, we ended up third. So that's a little bit better. Us getting a start on the inside, and we made a couple other changes. Before the feature race, we had a little bit of time, being that we were the third race, and obviously getting to see the sprint cars and stuff run. That was pretty cool too. So we went out there, started the race. I ran in second to Logan Boyette for a little while, which he's been racing for a long time.
Yep.
And all kinds of different classes between late models, trucks, just about everything. He's been in it and won championships and won plenty of races in. So we kind of went through the first part of the race, and our competition caution to get our two right side tires was on lap 49. That's what lap it got drawn. So we're just going to kind of see how it goes. So we're riding around there trying not to burn up too much on the tires on the first part. And the car was a little tight at the beginning of the race. So we just kind of stayed where we were at. I think I fell back to third, fourth a couple times. Even I believe I fell back to fifth and sixth once or twice. And the further on we went towards that 49 lap marker, the car slowly got better, and I got better. Even though I have a bunch of laps at Mobile, but not as many as I have at other tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as far as that car especially, I'm still learning a bunch of stuff about how Mobile is, because it's just one of those tracks you gotta know how to adapt to the track whenever it changes, and it might be one way one week and a different way the next week. So throughout the first part, we kind of got better, and whenever they gave us the 2 to go till the competition caution, I was in second at the time. I'd made my way back up to second, and on the last lap coming out of turn 4, Logan got held up by a lap car, and I was able to get around him. So it's kind of good timing for that right before the caution. So we went in. Got a little time to cool off, being that that's my first 100 lap race ever.
Wow. Yeah.
I've always ran 40, 50 lap races, I mean, even whenever I race, which I still currently race at Sunny South and Legend, but I used to race 3-4 cars a night at Sunny South at one point, and which that was 80, 100 laps, but it's still not anything like doing it
All at once.
all at once.
Yeah.
And so about lap 50, it was, it was hot sitting out there, and they had the fans blowing on me right there whenever they were changing tires. We only got 5 minutes, but it was just enough time to kind of get me cooled down and settled back down. And we went back out there. Obviously started first. Kind of went through, and Logan he definitely had the outside lane figured out, and he got around me on the first start. And we rode in second. Dustin Smith, who's been winning all the Pro Late model races over there, he got around me too. And so we were in third and fourth, about that area, for most of the second part of the race. And they're probably about lap 70, 75. The car just kind of, I guess once those new right sides kind of broke in a little bit, the car seemed to be driving quite a bit better than theirs were. And I kind of moved the car around a little bit, trying new things. And whenever I found somewhere that worked, I was able to get around them. And then after that, we kind of could get a little bit of breathing room between us and them, with me leading. And then we had a caution with 4 to go at the end, after we had green laps all the way till then, which is normally how it goes, or that's my kind of luck.
Yeah.
And thankfully the car was driving good. So on the first restart, I was able to get away from Dylan Courtney, who was in a brand new car of his that he had just got. And we made it maybe 2 laps. They gave us the 2 to go again. Another caution. Somebody spun out.
Yeah.
Then we went and did it again, and Logan was on the outside of me. And I just, we had a good start. And after the first turn right there, I was able to pull off from him, and the rest was kind of just riding it out.
See ya. Yep.
It's always the best kind, right? When you get to, when your spotter's like, hey, you got 2, got 3.
Clear.
Clear. Go, go, go. So what drew you? You said you raced the Legends cars. Obviously, we know lots of people that run Legends. They're a great development series, or people love them. Power to weight ratio teaches you how to control the car, all that good stuff. What drew you to the Outlaw? There's other things you could race, pro late models, street stocks, trucks, stuff like that. What specifically drew you to the Outlaw class?
So George Bragg, which he's pretty well known as far as even all the way to NASCAR, him and his son Josh Bragg. So they kind of got me started into racing. My dad had talked to him about me running a go-kart at first, and this was in 2019. So he's like, well, bring him over here and we'll run it at the track. Well, we practiced one time, which is how most of my cars have gone. We practiced one time, and then we went over there and raced the first race. And there is one thing that I can say that not a lot of people can say, and it's that I did win my first race, even though it was in a go-kart. But we went on that year, and I ended up second in points. Well, we went ahead and bought our own bando. Since we were racing the go-kart for him, we went ahead and bought our own bando. And this is a little bit of story behind my number too.
I was wondering about that. I was going to ask you about that. All right, perfect.
So my first bando, and I'm a Chase Elliott fan, so we put the number on the car as number 9. So later on, Mr. George had somebody that was driving between him and Wesley Capers. They had somebody that was driving a bando for them, and it was number 23, which was the same number as my go-kart. So we ended up, they were selling the car, so we were like, well, that'd be a good backup car. So we bought that car. We were like, well, we might as well just leave the 23 on it. It would be something different. We'll have the 2 cars with different numbers. So we won several races in those. I mean, for a while, I believe we won 15 or so races in a row, maybe even a couple more. But we were definitely competitive in those. And then whenever we went to a Legend, well, the first night we ran it, it was still yellow and white. It was kind of mixed colors because it had been wrecked. And my mom, none of them knew that I was racing it my first race. They just thought that we were going over there practicing it. And then whenever I pulled out there on the track with them, they were like, well, what is he doing out there? They were all asking my dad, and he was like, I don't know what he's doing, acting like he didn't know. And I came in third that race. And so later on, about the second race or so, we had this sponsor that was like, well, I'll pay to get the car wrapped and everything, and which I'm sure, as y'all know, it's not necessarily cheap to have a car wrapped anymore.
Nope.
And so he got it wrapped, and we were like, well, let's just put both the numbers together. It'll be something different and put 923 on it.
I like that.
And it's kind of stuck. So, and it's different than what most people have. So, and then we ran the Legend for a little while. I had a dirt factory stock that I ran for a little while, and then we kind of got the midget towards the end of that. I have a dirt midget, runs on methanol and stuff, similar to the ones that like Kyle Larson and them run, but it's like a D2 midget, so they don't have quite as much horsepower. Yeah. Like it's got a Honda 4-cylinder motor, but it still runs on methanol. So, and then George Bragg had just bought this Outlaw, and he had Connor Kresick drive at the championship race at Five Flags and then the Derby, and he won both of them in it. Well, he was like, well, he talked to my dad, and he was like, well, what do you think about Carter driving it? And he was like, well, I think that would be a good idea. He's like, well, why don't I just buy it from you, and then we can pay y'all or whatever to work on it and help us throughout setup and all kinds of stuff like that. And so that's kind of how that started, and we just kind of went from there. I believe this is my 3rd year in the Outlaw, 3rd, maybe 4th. Yeah. And so we just kind of stuck with it a little bit. And earlier on this year, I ran a Pro Late model at Mobile too, which was Josh Bragg's car, the one that he's won several races and championships in also.
3rd place, right? I think it was 3rd place. Yeah, 3rd place.
And that was my first time ever being in one. We practiced that Friday, and then we ran that Saturday, and I came in 3rd behind Dustin Smith and Chad Robinson, which they've both been doing it for a long time, and they're sure enough drivers.
Yeah. So Carter, what do you think about that? Because I wanted to ask you about the Pro, because it's, I mean, the Pro and the Pros are, a resurgence of them and so forth. And I think a lot of that because of Mobile. I mean, they just have a great program there for them. But having driven them both, with the Outlaw, to where the Outlaw is more of a kind of that sleek body, I always say long nose, tall booty. I know that's a difference, but horsepower wise and kind of drivability, which one do you prefer of the two?
So believe it or not, a Pro Late model and an Outlaw have the exact same motors. They're the exact frames, depending on what chassis you have, which we run Augie Grills frames, which is Grand American race cars. And and the main difference is the Pro Late model runs on 10-inch slicks. And obviously doesn't have a downforce body as the Outlaw does. And the Outlaws run on 8-inch slicks. So it's more of I wouldn't say a driver car, but it definitely takes a lot more to make them drive as you would want like a pro late model or something to drive.
Yeah.
And the main reason that the pro late models are so much faster is because of the 10-inch slicks.
Yep, absolutely.
So what was your first thought going from Sunny South to Mobile? I've only seen that place once, and it's big old high bank, half mile. And most people have to hold their breath going into turn 1 and going into turn 3. What was your first thought going from a Legends car and then going to an Outlaw there in Mobile? It got to be a shocker when you pulled in the gate.
Well, so Mobile has definitely been something different. My first race in the Outlaw was at Pensacola, which Pensacola is still one of the hardest half mile tracks to get around, especially with the corners and stuff. But Mobile, especially with it not having a wall. So the first time I actually raced at Mobile, there was some of our buddies that we raced bandos and stuff with at Sunny South. Robert Loper, he's well known over there in Pure Stocks, and if it's something that he can get in, he can drive it just about. And they had these legacy cars over there whenever they first started. We went over there just to watch. And he was running his Pure Stock too, and he was like, "Well, do you have your stuff?" And I was like, I got my stuff in the truck. And he was like, "Why don't you go out there and practice it, and then you can race it tonight?" And I was like, "Well, I've never even been around the track before, even in a truck." And he was like, "Well," he's like, "just go out there and then practice it, and then you'll be fine. Just race it." So I went out there. We got like 3 practice laps. I was like, "All right, well, this is great." So I went out there for the feature race, and his son was racing against me, Eli. And the car that I was driving was kind of busting up and stuff. They were having some carburetor problems with it. And it did it the whole race, just about. But it was still the experience of it. And it ran just good enough. And I ended up third in it, which it was my first time ever running there.
Yeah. I drove when I was working out there with Gina. I drove the old the Mobile, the cleanup truck around there, and I've raced on a big half mile before, but nothing like that. And it was like, holy, this is crazy. Yeah. So good stuff there. Last one for me, Carter. And thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me.
No, you got a lot going on. Rest of the year, you got the Derby in place. What all are you going to be doing to finish this thing out?
So we do have the championship race at Pensacola, which is September 20th. We do plan on running it. We got a couple more things to the car to do because we haven't been. I say that we haven't been as competitive. We haven't won any races at Pensacola this year. I've had a couple second and third, fourth place finishes, which is still in the top 5. It isn't bad, but still not up to our expectations. And so we've got a little bit more work to do before that race. And we do have another race planned in the pro late model. It's it kind of just got thought about after this weekend, and really today the decision was made that so Ricky Brooks is hosting a super late model race at Mobile October 4th weekend, I believe.
Yep.
And it's an option to run pro late models that race, and I guess you get a bonus or something like that. I'm not really sure exactly how those races work, but you get a little bit more advantage or leadway on what you can do to the cars and stuff as far as grip and weight and stuff. So that's our plan, is to run that race with the supers. And then that will be after the championship race, obviously. And then just kind of get ready for the Derby, which I'll still be running my Legend until then. And actually, tomorrow, my dad's going to pick up the frame for my dirt car, my factory stock that I've been slowly putting back together because we've been so busy. And it's got all the parts sitting at the shop. It's just kind of been a slowly getting put back together. But that's pretty much it. But the Derby's really our main focus.
All right, so I got one last one for you. September 27th. I don't know if you're familiar with that date or not. That would be when your Tigers go fight the Rebels there in the Grove over there. You got any bets going with your dad and your family about that? Or are you going to be at the racetrack that weekend and ignore it? Tell me about that weekend there with LSU going to Ole Miss.
I don't believe they were racing that weekend, but I'm sure that some bets will show up by then whenever it gets a little bit closer.
It's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Congratulations, brother. It's been a joy to talk to you. Been a joy to kind of follow you there as everything was going along. And again, thanks for doing this with us. May check in with you prior to the Derby. I know what we usually do. A multitude of shows leading up to the Derby, so maybe check in with you and see if you want to hop back on and preview that one, my friend.
Well, that sounds good to me.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all for having me.
Hey, man, good luck on the football field.
Yes, sir.
Good luck on the football field as well. All right, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
You bet. There he goes. It's Carter Taylor getting set to go. That dude's got too much going on.
Way too much going on.
I'm like getting panicked listening to all that he's got going on. That is a lot of stuff. To be young again, Bobby, right? It's like, God, I wouldn't. I was living that life myself up until about the last year or so. So I know where he's coming from, and I'm an old dude, but that's it's pretty cool right there, man. A very, very talented young man there.
Yeah, no, definitely. When you're getting the one thing that we talk about young racers all the time is that opportunities come at you when you least expect it.
Mm-hmm.
And what you have to do is take advantage of those opportunities that's there. There's two things that car owners look at up in the upper echelons of motorsports. They look at two things. Number one is, do you win at every level you're at? And then number two, how much stuff do you tear up? It sounds like he's checking both boxes right now by winning at every level or being competitive at every level. And then doesn't sound like he's tearing up a lot of equipment either. So not that we want to jinx him after coming on the show, but yeah, I think that's a name to keep an eye on come Derby time for sure. And then the next couple of years, you could say that you heard Carter on this show first.
That's right. That seems to be what happens. They hit this show, and then boom, off they go. They off fly the little doves, and doing really good things. Several have come through here, and that's the cool part about it. We talk to legends, we talk to young folks, and that's what this show has always been about. Colton Birmingham coming up, another young stallion that we're going to talk to here in just a couple of minutes. But before we do that, we talk about him all the time. We talked about him a little bit earlier. It's On Demand Shirts, the official apparel provider of the Revved Up Sports Show. Check them out, and be sure and check out that archived interview with James Cole last week. Tells you all about On Demand Shirts and all the cool stuff they do. They take care of little yahoos like Bobby and I, and they take care of multi-million-dollar companies, and they can take care of you. And they're headquartered right here in San Antonio in South Central Texas. It's On Demand Shirts.
You've probably seen us all over the racing world and doing a lot of racing designs for events and race teams, but we also do a lot of stuff from small boutiques in small cities all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. Your brand deserves to be seen. We print on more than just shirts, hats, jackets, bags, and much, much more. Custom corporate branding starts here.
More than shirts, it's On Demand Shirts. Check them out on all the socials, and really great content that they provide as well. All right, let's go back over to the audio-visual consultations guest. Well, I guess not really a guest line anymore because we see them, and talking about young dudes, and this is where, Bobby, we talk to dudes like this, and this is where I truly realize, shit, I'm old.
That's right. Really you old. Remember him when he little itty bitty. Well, I mean, hell, so do I, but
dude was like this high. I mean, just little bitty. And now he's over here blazing trails, winning IMCA Southern Sport Mod races and all national points and shit. It is Colton Birmingham. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Dude, I like your setup over there, man. That's I might have to go hang out with you sometime. Yeah, looking good there. So first of all, talk about the season. Talk about the season, because you make the jump, and we'll talk about Stars of Tomorrow. We'll talk about that kind of later on. But kind of talk about that transition, man. You guys roll the dice and off you go, and shit, you haven't looked back since.
No, it's been a real long season this year. Jumping from the junior limiteds up to the sport mods. these guys, they don't mess around in the sport mods. They're a lot faster than the juniors were, and they race a lot harder, and racing every week, every Friday and Saturday night's been real tricky, but we've managed to keep up with it.
Absolutely.
So you're a second generation racer, Colton. Has the transitioning from being, a fan to helping your dad on his car to actually racing, has the transition been a hell of a lot harder than you thought it was going to be, or has it been about what you thought it was going to be?
It's been a little tricky because now since we're both racing down at Cotton Bowl, whenever we both race, he helps me and I help him, so we're kind of both helping each other, but it's manageable.
And Colton, let's talk about what you guys have done, because with your racing, and again, obviously we applaud Chris because he's racing at Cotton Bowl, but then again, he could travel and do some racing as well, but obviously he's more focused on your program. But kind of talk about that for you, because it's Waco, it's Kennedale, it's Cotton Bowl, it's you guys. Man, I hope you got a hellacious gas card, because you guys are just everywhere every weekend.
Yeah, we it's been Waco every Friday night. We were running for track points there. I ended up third for the season there, and then Cotton Bowl every other weekend. And whenever Cotton Bowl was off, we were trying to race somewhere up at Kennedale, or we went up to SOS and Grayson County. It's been a lot.
So in terms of the sport mod, in terms of it, when you transitioned out from the junior limited to the sport mod, did you take the whole car with you, or did you buy a brand new car? Because I know that's kind of the idea, is to develop the drivers and then take the cars and take out the chip and just send you on up the ladder. How did you guys do it? Did you guys do it like that, or did y'all do something different?
It's the same exact car that I ran in junior limiteds last year. We had just got the new motor before Mod Wars and stuff, so I ran the same motor that I ran at Mod Wars is in the car still. Just a few different things like spoiler and carburetor and stuff like that.
Yeah. And Colton, let's kind of talk about that junior limited experience for you guys. I know there's junior limiteds at other racetracks, but I think that Waco, in large part to my man Joe Spillman, just did a tremendous job with the group that you were a part of, to where it's like, okay, we're going to teach you. I mean, you're not just going in a circle, and it's not all this. Kind of talk about what they did with you guys when they're teaching you flags, they're kind of teaching you etiquette, do this, do that. I mean, that was just massive what they did for you. And it shows, because the alumni that's come out of that, I mean, yourself included, there's so many great sport mod drivers now that came out of that pack of drivers.
Yeah, I think last year in juniors, we had almost 20 cars every night. We raced up in Waco. I think we had some pretty stout competition last year, and they do a lot. They do their own practice days at the beginning of the year for the juniors, and they give them certain spotters, like experienced drivers, that can talk to them in their ear to help them figure out lines and stuff around the track.
So, talk about your dad's involvement like that. Was he your spotter, or is he just, actually, let me rephrase that one. So what we've noticed on this show is, when you got a second generation racer like yourself, and when your dad's been successful winning races, winning championships for a long, long time, at what point is he your dad, and what point is he your driver's coach? Because, I mean, does he lay the hammer down on you, or is he more of a, an attaboy, or do it this way or do it my way, or how's that relationship working with you and Chris?
It's good. He gives his input, and he just tells me, like, he'll give me his thoughts of what I should do and stuff, but he just tells me to go figure out how I like to drive it, and if I like it that way, drive it that way.
How calm is he with you when you're racing? Because, man, I've seen that dude at dance competitions out of control. So it's like, are you ever like, dude, get away from me? You're not helping.
No, not really. He's pretty chill normally. He kind of lets me do my own thing out there.
Excellent.
Well, your dad chills. What about your mom? Because we've seen her get excited when your dad was racing. So, how excited does your mom get when she watch you races? I've seen her before. She jumps up and down and she yells, and I've seen her cuss a few racers when there's contact. I mean, is she still like that, or is she a little bit calmer with her baby boy racing?
No, she's definitely like that. I can see her sometimes under caution up there on the catwalk yelling and stuff, trying to tell me where to go, stuff like that.
All that shit in flip flops.
Yep.
I'm like, girl, put some
Every
shoes
week.
on. All the time. Freezing cold flip flops. Girl, come on, man. So for you, and the whole thing is with the racing that you've done. I mean, you have put yourself in a really nice position when it comes to national points for IMCA. Kind of talk about that, man. It looks like that's the ultimate goal for you, and dude, you are right there. You are right there. It's all paid. The hard work is paid off.
Yeah, right now we're running second. I'm not sure exactly how far we're behind. I think it's about 20 or something like that. But we've been real close all year.
So was that the goal, to get Rookie of the Year? I mean, everybody has multiple goals when they first start out or change classes. I mean, was the goal to get Rookie of the Year, go get a couple of wins, both? I mean, what was the goal for y'all when you started the season and made the decision to move up?
Yeah, that was definitely the goal, was to run for the national rookie. I could have drove a stock car a couple of times this year, but we were focused on the sport mod only, trying to get that a rookie.
So is that as the season goes? So how much time do you guys have left for the overall? Because that's what I love about that, is you find a racetrack and you can keep yourself right in the hunt for that.
I think there's 2 races left at Cotton Bowl, and then I think there's 3 races left at Grayson County, and that's about it. But we're not going to be able to make all of them.
Oh, come on! Why not?
They race on the same nights as Cotton Bowl.
Oh, okay, there we go.
So when you follow your dad's footsteps and go racing, do you put more pressure on yourself because he was a racer, or is it just? It sounds like they don't have the leash on you as some second generation racers do. But I mean, did you feel any added pressure to be like, I want to be like my dad and win races and win championships, or is that just competitive fire that makes you want to do that?
No, that's just really competitive fire. I'm out there to have fun, win. I'm not really too worried about competing with my dad.
Yeah, there you go.
I got more feature wins than him, so he could have the championships. I got more feature wins. So.
Oh man, I love it. We'll have to cut that one up, and I'm going to send it to him. It could be his ringtone. That would be excellent. So, balance of the season for you. So obviously, with that, is there once this kind of all shakes itself out, any extra traveling that Danielle can pull the trailer to? Kind of outside of the area, or does she really pull the trailer?
She has before, yeah.
Nice. So anything outside of the area of where you've been racing that you guys are going to do?
Not that I can think of. Not maybe. I think either at the end of this year or the beginning of next year, that big show that they do down at I-37. We might go to that, but the last couple of big races that we have is Mod Wars, which is next week, and then Oktoberfest at Cotton Bowl, and then Fall Classic back at Waco.
Nice.
Yeah, that one's going to be a pretty big show. That Sparkling City Classic coming up in Corpus. They were promoting the hell out of that race up in Boone, so that could be some heavy hitters. And if you do well in that race, that'll be a couple of notches on the belt to say you outran some of the biggest names in the sport mod world when they come down to Corpus. But future. I mean, obviously working for Rookie of the Year, is it, you got the opportunity with the stock car, you said, is that something that you want to think about? Switching classes, you want to stick with the sport mod? What's in your mind about what you want to do mainly next year, but are you thinking a couple of years out already?
I would like to get into a stock car either next year or the year after that. So we'll see what happens after Fall Classic.
Yeah, that's kind of right up your alley right there. I think the stock cars right there, kind of, from your, as a kiddo with pavement days and watching all of that. So how special was it for you? Because I got to tell you that you've done something that a lot of folks can't I mean, a lot of drivers. I mean, to win a feature race at Heart of Texas Speedway, how big was that for you to win that main event there in your rookie season? Because when you look at Brandon Guerin and all these guys that race there, that had to be just like a huge accomplishment for you, because that's truly where the badasses race, man. There is no doubt about that.
Yeah, it definitely was. I could off the first start, I knew I had a pretty big gap, and then after the caution came out and they read the lineup back, I knew who was behind me, and I didn't think I was going to stay up there for very long, but I just held the top. I knew the top was faster around 1 and 2 for sure, and Brandon, he was getting me down to 3 and 4 on the bottom, but it was faster around the top, I guess. So
yeah, hell of a job.
So when you won, was it everything you thought it was going to be? Because we ask people that all the time. Like, when you get that first win and it's like the emotion, like you don't know at the time, what you're experiencing. I mean, and looking back on it, was it everything you thought it was going to be and more? Or is it just, was it even more special than that now that you go back and think about it?
No, it was very special. I mean, I definitely didn't expect to get a win in my first year of racing, especially racing with those guys. I feel like any class you race at Heart of Texas has some of the stoutest competition in Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mason Warren chimes in. You need to join him in the stock car. So there you go. There you go, right there. You mentioned right up at the top when we talk about these limited modifieds, IMCA Southern Sport Mods. This very aggressive class, like you said, these guys they're not going to give you anything. Just kind of talk about kind of learning that part. I mean, I remember one of the first times that I raced at Longhorn way back when, Keith Sandover comes by me and he like passes me and just right by the side of my car. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about that aggressiveness with these guys, man. They do not mess around. No,
they don't, not at all. They're real aggressive. They moving up from the juniors, most of the junior limiteds, whenever they try not to get close to other cars, so they don't really beat and bang. But these guys, they'll come and they'll come down your side, and they won't like move you out of the way or nothing, but they'll come right down your side and try and scare you so that they can come up by you.
Absolutely.
Tell us about the number. That 10's not your dad's old number, right? Is that your own identity? How'd you get the 10s? I understand the C, right? I guess it's for Colton. But how'd you end up on the number 10? Is that what you did in football and stuff like that?
Yes. My very first year of baseball, when I was around like 4 or 5, they gave me the number 10, and I played multiple years of baseball and football, and ever since then it's just been number 10.
So are you, we were just talking to Carter Taylor, and he's like, oh yeah, I got a game on Friday. And so are you free of football obligations, right? Right now it's just racing for you, hopefully.
Yeah.
Good.
No sports right now, just racing.
Good man. Excellent.
That's the way, that's one way to do it. No pressure, all just motorsports all the way out. That's what he knows. I mean, that's all Chris has instilled in him and Danielle over the years. It's just,
no sports,
racing.
No sports and no girls right now, please.
Nope.
Oh, well, why are there always girls in those pictures when they take pictures of your car? There are girls everywhere.
My sister.
Not just your sister. Talk about them, because you have ultra competitive sisters. I mean, for folks that don't know this, I mean, Sierra and Carly, these two are competitive dancers and held. I guess Sierra's like a dance instructor at Lake Travis, isn't she right now? Kind of talk about them. You guys, it really is. It's a full team support that you guys have. They follow the whole program with you guys.
Yeah, they Sierra doesn't really get the chance to come out that much because she is the director at Lake Travis, so they have football games on Friday nights and stuff, and practice and all that. So she doesn't get to come out that much, but she has been to the past couple. And Carly, she tries to come whenever she can, whenever she's not busy.
It's awesome.
That's great. That's the family. That's what it is. It's about the family and the camaraderie and all of that. In terms of the coming up to Mod Wars and then to the Oktoberfest, the Cotton Bowl. Obviously, the goal is to win, but when you're in a field that's stacked like that, what's your main goal out of that? Is it top fives? Is it wins? Top threes? I mean, what's your goal when it comes to these big races like Mod Wars and Oktoberfest?
Probably around somewhere in the top 5. I mean, just to make the main in my book is good. So probably the top 5 probably be good.
So talk about last weekend, because I saw the push, for the fan vote and so forth, which you won, which you won that, by the way. But then I saw it doesn't matter, didn't need it, didn't need the fan vote. How great was that, man? That was a lot of alphabet soup for you this past weekend.
Yeah, we Friday night when we ran. I was lucky enough to get both of our heats in on Friday, and the carburetors wasn't acting right. It was spitting and sputtering. So didn't get no passing points Friday, so I had to start deep in the E-main on Saturday and just try to drive smart, let everybody else crash in front of me, and finish the race in the top 12, and I drove all the way to the A. So
there it is. It's awesome.
That's half the battle, is letting everybody else crash and avoiding it, especially up there at Kennedale. It gets a lot of extracurricular up there in every class, especially the sport mods. They love to get after it, and it's some great racing, but man, there's some highlight reel crashes up at Kennedale too. Good thing you weren't a part of that when you do the alphabet soup. What's your favorite track so far? I mean, obviously you've hit some of the big ones. You had Grayson County, you got Cotton Bowl, you got Waco, you got Kennedale. They're all different. All have their own unique characters. Which one's your favorite?
I think Heart of Texas is my favorite because I like the small bull rings, high banks. I like Kennedale too. It's just not as banked, so it's not as fast as Waco. But yeah, I think I like Heart of Texas the best.
So you do know when you win at Page, when you win at Cotton Bowl, your mom and dad and your friends and family, they're going to knock that place down. You do know that, right? That's going to be a hell of a party when you win that one there, and it's probably coming up right around the corner. Colton, proud of you, buddy. It's really cool. I joked around a couple of years ago when I interviewed you on the track. It's like, dude, you used to come get my autograph. Now I want your autograph because you're a badass. So congratulations on everything that you're doing, man. Good luck, and just keep killing it. Keep killing it, man. Yep, absolutely. Take care, bud.
You too.
You bet. Here he goes. God, they grow so fast.
I know. He was such a little dude racing with his dad.
Oh man, you remember that? It was like, and that's seriously that kid right there. That is, and there he is once again. What a night that was for them at Heart of Texas Speedway. Luckily, I tuned into that and I was able to watch that live as it happened. But that's where it's look. I mean, we talk about folks that are in this sport. Yeah, Chris, Danielle, Colton, they're not mega high rollers, millionaires doing that. They're doing this for the love of the sport, for the love of the family, and for the love of that kid, and just pursuing this thing just as far as they can. And that's what this sport is really all about. I mean, these rich kids and whatever they get to do, that's a great story right there, that kiddo. And coming up out of junior limiteds, man, I think it makes it even more special.
I think a lot of times the stories like Colton's get buried because there's a lot of people on social media and in the stands and stuff like that get so caught up in the kids with money that are getting the opportunities, and then sometimes the opportunities don't always go that great and they tear up a lot of equipment.
Yep.
And then they're able to write another check, and then they get more equipment, and sometimes it gets torn up. Sometimes they get better. Sometimes they don't. I think that the stories like Colton's, where you've got I would call them a grassroots, grassroots team, for sure, that work for everything they have and put their heart, soul, and dimes and pennies all into that race car. I think that those kind of stories go under the radar more often than not, because a lot of times it is the nature of the beast that has the kids with more funding get all the stories. So I think it's good to be able to experience the other side of it. So
yeah, it's like when you hear stories like that and the progression, and I think the fact that Chris is still driving as well, I think that really is the stories that make this grassroots home track, short track stuff what we do. It still kind of brings it home a little bit where there's not a lot of that anymore. Like you're talking about, I mean, the guys that travel around, and you never see the driver, and then the driver's hiding in the motor coach and all this, that,
on
and the other.
TikTok and all of that.
Yeah. And you see it on dirt just as well as asphalt. I mean, I think asphalt gets a pretty bad rap to where it's like these drivers for hire. I mean, it's any surface. Hell, it's in motocross. It's in anything. I mean, that's anywhere. That's the nature of the business, where it has become a business. But when you get a family thing like that, and talking about, and Carly checked in right there, to where it's like they're still doing it. They're still doing it for the love of why we all got involved in this sport, and that's what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. And those kind of stories really do go unheard. And we definitely will be cutting up that interview and getting it out to the masses, because those kind of stories need to be heard. Miss Carol, hello, congratulations. Great to hear from you here on the program. Great lady right there that I met over at Mobile a couple of years ago. One of the greatest race announcers in the country right there. I got to tell you, all of the folks that do that craft, she is exceptional at that. Miss Carol right there. So yeah, good program with a couple of young dudes, man. And both of them polished. That's important too.
That's right. Somebody, you never know who's watching. Every opportunity that comes at you, you got a chance to take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, coming up, we'll talk about drama queens and days of our dirt track lives and NASCAR and controversies and all that. That's coming up. But first, a word from My Race Pass.
Welcome to the My Race Pass app, the #1 app for motorsports fans. We want to make sure you get the most out of your My Race Pass app experience. With your new free account, you can use the My Race Pass app to see race day information, including event entries and official lineups and results for over 600 organizations across North America. You can also see track information and purchase online event tickets for select tracks. With your free account, you can also search for a track or series on the My Race Pass app and favorite their profile to receive news and race day notifications on your mobile device. To see more information and to see which app subscription is best for you, be sure to visit getmrpapp.com. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
Yeah, it is. That's the only way. That is the only way to follow stuff. It's like
right.
I come in here,
points and everything now. The season ending, you got them.
Yeah, and you can actually, I mean, you can get announcer audio on some of that stuff. Some of those racetracks, if that's enabled, you can get that as well. So it's truly the best experience that you're going to find with My Race, the My Race Pass app. And Miss Carol, if you're a Spurs fan, come to Texas. Let's go take in a game. You, me, and the wife. You, the wife, and I, we can go take in a Spurs game. That'll be fun. But you better get down here quick, because those tickets, because the Spurs are coming. Spurs are going to be making an impact soon. The World 100, Ricky Thornton Jr. I thought that was going to be. I thought it was going to be old JD, but RTJ just a little too much. Dude's really good.
Yeah, when the money's on the line, they both are pretty good, and it was a hell of a race. And you got to figure out that when it comes time, what's funny when that pay window opens, it's unique, the ability for the guys to just put on another level.
Yeah,
and without necessarily tearing stuff up, right? That's the other thing, dude. It's one thing to see the pay window open and you knock everybody's ass out of the way to try to get the big check, but it's another thing when you race it to the finish, and not just with the World 100, but any race that you see. So it becomes a challenge as a competitor and a driver and everybody else to make that happen. It's a mentality thing. We hadn't seen the best of the dirt track world this year. We've seen some incidences here and there that put a black eye on it, but it was good to see. It was good to see that race at the 100. So lots of cool stuff. That track it's just I want to go there. It's on my bucket list of a track to go to for sure.
That's the ultimate dirt track right there. I mean, yes, I'm with you. I mean, I would love to get down there to check that place, or get over there to check that place out. I mean, just phenomenal racing. And I was, as I was watching the 100, it's like I mean, it felt very much like a pavement asphalt race, to where it's like you got in the middle of that, and they're just kind of chasing. They're just kind of following the leader around. And then once you had that break in there, that's when the move came. And here is RTJ after the World 100.
Honestly, today I didn't really have a lot of confidence. You can never let your guys know that, though. So I don't know. I felt like there early I was just trying to ride. And I'm like, man, it kind of feels like the dirt track last year. Like, I feel like my car's really good, but I just can't do something dumb and hit the wall. And we got that restart, and I was able to get by Hoffman and Madden. I'm like, man, I might actually have a shot at this. And then I don't know if it was determination or what. I got a really good restart, and I stayed next to JD, and I knew he was going to move up. I'm like, all right, if I can just dictate where he's going to go on this restart, we're all watching that board get in turn one, trying to see exactly how much of a gap you have and don't have. And I don't know, I was able to get by him, and then I was running scared probably the next 15 laps. Every time I was coming down the front straight, I go, man, he's going to go to the outside, he's going to go under me. I feel like I could hear him. Kind of crazy. We get that last restart, and it's Dale up next to me. I'm like, man, I gave my heat race away a couple nights ago to Dale. Hopefully I can get a good start and get out front. And he got under me off of 2, and I'm like, man, if he gets in that traction down there, he's gonna drive right by me down the back straightaway. And I got a really good start. Man, like I said, my boy's been working hard.
Yeah, great race. RTJ, Dale McDowell, Nick Hoffman. Good run for Nick Hoffman. Tyler Erb, Ryan Gustin, Brandon Shepard, JD, Chris Ferguson, Bobby Pierce, and Tanner English, the top 10 in the World 100. And now the late models move on to the next one. Just love the late models, man. That's a lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun to watch those dudes.
They grow on you. They really do.
Really do.
Now that they've got their little pay-per-view TV package going and stuff like that, like it, you used to only watch highlights on Mav TV, and occasionally would get them, late nights on FS1 or Speed Channel. So now that they got their little package work, they have a hell of a following. Religiously, people will log in and watch it, and I mean they're just as popular, if not more popular, than the Cup Series.
Yeah, absolutely. Cordeal, you had the Nationals over at Cordeal, a couple of super late model races on Saturday. It's Jake Garcia over Colin Allman and Johnny Sauter. Michael Atwell comes home fourth there in the Davidson entry, and a hell of a job by them against a lot of odds right there, problems that they had. They were able to get the work done there and get that done. On Friday night, the King, Bubba Pollard. Bubba not quite as good on Saturday, but he did win on Friday over Matt Craig and Jake Garcia, Gavin Bushell, and Dylan Feccio. So that's over at Cordeal, as it was just a very, very busy weekend with big events, and that's what you're going to get right now to where it is the big stuff. I mean, we are down to the big things, and that's really where, I mean, weekly racing is great. But like when we talk about when the temperature changes and you start getting these high dollar races, this is when it gets to be a heck of a lot of fun, especially when there's other distractions, like with football, with college football and NFL and all this, to where it's like, okay, you can tune in, or if you're fortunate to go to one of these races, it's just a really good time to take in these big races.
Yeah, and some of the bigger races actually have the football games on the TV.
Oh yeah.
Just because they know, you can kind of say, hey, come to the racetrack. We'll have the TV on for watch highlights and scores and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
as we always said, the most expensive seat at a racetrack is the empty one.
Yeah.
So we've seen it time and time again where it's so hard, in all levels. We saw the ratings at Darlington for the Cup, or Darlington. The Darlington race, and they haven't released the ratings for this past race in St. Louis. We saw the Darlington ratings, while still heavy dominant, they just weren't there because everybody's watching NFL football.
Yeah,
preseason.
And that's where I guess it was the new edition of Kevin Harvick's program that I saw, where Harvick is like, so why are we racing on Saturday nights? Which that really is I mean, there's a no-win with this right now, in my opinion, because if you race on Saturday night, you know, you're going to be head to head with an SEC or a Big Ten or a Pac-12 after dark, or one of these things that's going to consume a lot of eyes. And the thing is, on Sunday, you know, the NFL, and you know, a lot of times, like on Sunday with the NFL, you get the early window there of NFL games, and they're not any good. And I got to tell you, Sunday, the early window of NFL games, I think they were better than the
the prime time matchups weren't as good.
Yeah, so
actually, I mean, I take that back. The Bills and the
the
Bills and the Ravens without that, you know.
Yeah, but that was, you know, in the prime time. But it gets to where and where it's going to be hard, because I guess we were talking about that before we actually came on the air, to where Thursday night you have what could be a really good truck race that's going to be going on Thursday night at Bristol, but then you got Thursday night football, and that's going to encompass just a lot of and yeah, this is where it's really weird. I'm a diehard racing guy. I absolutely am, but in my setup here on Sunday, Red Zone was over here where NASCAR was kind of secondary, and not that matters, but it's just that it just seems like football kind of
dominates the landscape.
Yeah, it really does. So that's where that's a really hard sell, and that's where, you know, with the Bristol night race, it's a very different time. When folks talk about when Bristol used to be, college football has always been a really, really big deal and always been a big thing in the South and everything. But when you think back to the 90s, you didn't quite have this.
Well, wasn't always this late in the season either. It used to be in the summer.
Great point.
It wasn't always a playoff race.
Great point.
Or it has been a playoff race. When they started doing elimination, they made Bristol the cutoff race, and it pushed it back.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. I mean, I couldn't even tell you who Tennessee's playing this weekend, but I guarantee you there's a hell of a lot of people. They talked about the attendance in the spring race at Bristol. The night race always has a little bit better attendance, but it depends on who Tennessee's playing to know whether or not that, you know, that come through and see. Let's see here. Who is it going to be this weekend? The 13th. Yeah. Nobody understand. Georgia at Tennessee.
Tennessee's got a big matchup this week. So
yeah.
I mean, just think about that.
Stands are going to be empty.
Yeah, those two teams right there, that's half your damn audience right there, is Georgia and Tennessee. So, and even though you have a pretty good idea of how the outcome's going to be, you would think it doesn't matter. It's going to
have eyeballs. Especially, I guess that game day's going. That's where game day's at, isn't it? In Knoxville.
I don't know. I don't know. It may be, but that's where it's just very hard.
Fox is in Lubbock. That's the big noon game. Is Utah at Tech.
The Big 12. But that's where the Saturday night races do get tough, but Sunday afternoon's just as hard, because there's you need to run on Monday. Well, no, don't run on Monday, or don't run late, because you're up against them too.
But you can't do what IndyCar does and stop.
Well, you know,
because it's too far. One is, I don't know how in the hell they budget an IndyCar to go without any revenue from September all the way to February.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to fund it. You got to fund what, 4 or 5 months without any income coming in other than sponsor dollars. That's a hell of a way to budget.
Well, and like we talked about last week, Bobby, it's like, and then anything of relevance that may happen, that may get some people interested, or may get some eyes or ears back on you. Shit, you solve it 2 days after the season.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, you know, it's like that's where they have to be a little more strategic. And when it comes to, you know, this year with Fox's involvement, I mean, it seemed like to me, honestly, Fox put more effort into IndyCar, which I guess they should. I guess
they definitely will now.
Yeah, they definitely will now. So I don't. It's just a short season. I'd love to see that thing expand, and I think what's going to happen for IndyCar, they're going to continue to lose talent. I mean, these guys that are taking off, Colton Herta going off to be a F2 driver or whatever the case is. That's where, and what's going to be interesting is when you start getting guys like, Will Power making the move, but these guys have been doing this for a little bit. I mean, Joseph Newgarden's been doing it. I keep waiting for Joseph Newgarden to transition to NASCAR. Dude lives in fucking North Carolina. So I keep waiting for that to happen, but it never has.
I still want to see IndyCar race at the Roval. I still think that'd be fun as hell.
I think it would too. I really think it would.
Why that hasn't happened yet, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
They'd rather go to Mexico. They'd rather go. They don't have anything central other than Iowa, and Iowa's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess now they got Arlington there in the Metroplex is kind of the central states, but then they should be running at TMS instead of Arlington. But
I mean, they had to figure out a way to do a back-to-back there somehow. I mean, even if it's in the same week, and then IndyCar could kind of like just dominate. I mean, that's a huge market over there in DFW. I mean, run one race one week, and then the next, just take over that part of Texas, and establish yourself, because you only have the one Cup race, and people are very NASCAR hungry in DFW again. Like I said, the Mexican input, the Mexican fan base is really bought in there. I think they go to COTA and they're like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then you go to TMS and it's a totally different stuff where you're going in a circle compared to what you see over here. So that's I don't know. Yeah, IndyCar, it's like, man, come on. The one thing when it comes to TV ratings, I saw there was a lot of back and forth to where it's like ARCA or whatever, the ARCA race got like 47,000 people that watched that on those TV numbers, and the Cars Tour, the Cars Tour drivers are like, hey man, we had 250,000 people that streamed our race. And ARCA's like, well, but our ARCA, we're still the whatever. But I mean, come on, man, pound for pound, I'm going to tune into a Cars Tour race before I'm ever going to watch that shit on ARCA.
Now we'll just wait till Thursday afternoon. Cletus is back, so the ARCA rating should be really, really high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh,
that race starts early. That race starts at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. That's good.
I think it's Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's
right. So Cletus is back, so you're going to end up getting a rekindle of the ARCA ratings there when he comes back. It just depends on what you think he's going to end up one of them colic dodges.
Maybe so, man. Maybe so. It would. I'll tell you this. I think that rather than going and just for impact, I mean, just for splash and just to get popularity stuff or whatever, I think I would go that direction rather than going off and chasing. And again, I'm just talking hypothetically, Haley Deegan or Tony Breidinger or one of those things. I mean, I think that you go and you get somebody like that, like Cletus, that's going to be somebody that people are going to relate to and they're going to gravitate to it, I think, a little better.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they got 5 seats to fill.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got 5 seats. So that's 5 drivers. We'll see how that shakes out. But did you read the deal today or a couple of days ago about Connor Zillage being eyed to be a test driver for Formula One for the Cadillac team?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him leaving NASCAR for that.
No, I don't think so. I think that's his place is pretty set right there. And obviously next season, everything's there for him. I keep trying to figure out a way how Rick Hendrick's going to steal this dude away.
Oh, I know. He'll end up in the 48.
Oh, and RIP Bill Davis. Speaking of Rick Hendrick stealing people away, Jeff Gordon from Bill Davis. That's what got Bill Davis. He was never right after that.
Nope, he was never right after that. Ford was pissed off too.
Oh man, he's like, man, you take my guy right here, and that's the thing. It's a very hot commodity. Speaking of Trackhouse, what are them dudes doing driving around in the grass over there after the race?
Same reason Denny Hamlin burned it down for as long as he did. He ain't never celebrated like that.
Well,
he burned that sumbitch to the ground on Sunday.
It's these guys that go over there and they nudge that thing up against the wall, or they kind of tap up against the wall and do their burnouts. I'm like, I know what they're doing there. I know what they're doing. They're moving weight and shit around. I mean, these guys ain't as crafty.
The problem is it didn't help Trackhouse. Chastain finished 24th and SVG finished 25th. Going to be out of it's going to be bad. He's going to be out of the first round, and then come back in round 2 and win the Roval.
So I guess they were issued a warning, I guess is what I saw, right?
Brad Moran was they were just going to be, it's just going to be discussed, is what Brad Moran said this morning on our Friends on the Morning Drive. That it's going to be discussed and they're going to see what's going on. Yeah, basically they're slapping their hands today and they're going to make, telling everybody stop the games when you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
that's all it is. It's all about games.
Yeah. You can't do a lot to this car. I mean, the playoff thing keeps coming up. Our man Jordan Bianchi's not doing a good job of hiding the fact that the playoff system is going to change. And did you hear that?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and my whole thing is, man, I love Mark Martin, one of my favorite race drivers ever, but he is just very content. And that's great because people are going to listen to Mark Martin. And when people like Mark Martin start saying that the system is not right, that's when things will change. And again, this is where NASCAR is going to totally, the NFL, they don't really concede a lot to where it's like I know that they have input of the fans and all the different things, just like NASCAR does. But NASCAR is like when they hear this, that they're changing this because of the outcry. And I totally get the win and you're in. And look, I'm probably not, when I really think about it, I'm probably not the biggest fan of the one race thing, to where it's like, okay, whoever wins that one race is the champion. That's probably not the best way to do it, but it's just the thing now where everybody wants to bitch about the playoffs. And I keep seeing, well, if it was the old system, here's the way it would have been. It's not the old system.
If the car's better, do people care? Or is it because
That's
it's
the
a
problem.
double-edged sword? The car sucks and the system is, we've been doing the elimination since 2016, coming up on 10 years.
That's the problem. This car is just not a good race car. I mean,
it's too good. That's the problem with it's too damn. They over-engineered the damn thing.
Yeah, they did. They really did. I mean, the Xfinity car. I mean, look at Xfinity. I mean, that race car is doing really cool things. It produces really good racing. I mean, that's
because the numbers in the center of the door. That's why that racing's better.
So that's a great point. I mean, it really is. The car is too smart. It's like KITT. Oh, KITT. It's a KITT car. I mean, it really is a KIT car, but it's way too freaking advanced for what we are trying to do. There's, we talk about it all the time with street stock racing and all the different things, to where it's like, you take a chassis, you take a car that we are trying to get it to do things that it is totally not designed to do. This car is designed to do anything, road race, street race, oval race. Some of it's probably dirt. Remember the dirt race would suck.
Dirt race, would suck because it was you can't run independent rear suspension on a dirt track.
Yeah, exactly.
Not in a major league, not like that. You can't.
Yeah, there's no traction control in dirt. I mean, it's just too good of a car. It's just too good of a car. So and kind of the other thing that I wanted to touch on, we'll go over the playoff things here as we have the Bristol night race and the finale coming up for round number 1. But it's Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin wins, and people get pissed off at him because he's talking crap and this, that, and the other. But yet we want personalities in racing. And Denny Hamlin is giving us personalities in racing. But for whatever reason, when it comes to Denny Hamlin, it's not the same thing. It's like, and I am kind of glad now that I'm seeing folks say that Chase Elliott, it's like, that dude just kind of seems like he didn't want to be here, right? Because he's
been
like,
that way for a couple of years.
Yeah. It's like, we're very choosy about who we want to have personality. Bubba Wallace talks shit. No. We don't want him doing that. Denny talks shit. We don't want him doing that. So it's like, come on, man. This is what we want.
I'm saying the guy under the radar that has become the fan favorite is Ryan Blaney.
I think Ryan Blaney and Chase Briscoe, I think is kind of,
his stock's gone up since he went to Gibbs.
Yeah. But I mean, we talk about the driver. We talk about DW and Earnhardt and Tim Richmond and these guys. But Denny says this.
Y'all can boo me, but you can either get on the bandwagon or you can get run over by it.
Earnhardt says that. People are like, yeah. Dale Jr. says that. People
raise
are like,
hell, praise Dale.
Exactly. So it's like, I mean, I love that this dude puts the black hat on, and I know that there's other stuff going on with lawsuits and all that, and people don't like him for whatever reason, but he gets, everybody's out of control with podcasts and whatever. But how do you not appreciate that? I think it's great.
He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way when he was on that Netflix show.
Yeah.
Because he just came off as so damn arrogant. There's a difference between being good and being arrogant. Sometimes you can be both, and sometimes you turn into both, because you can be arrogant if you're good, and he is. But at the same time, he ran a lot of people off of his bandwagon, whatever you want to say, when he ended up being, on that Netflix show, and just the dude had a helicopter pad in his backyard, right on
Yeah.
Lake Norman. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, there's that. And
And then he said, how many people have this? Like, you legit said it. So
yeah. And the thing is, if he, kind of craps the bed here again with the championship, that's going to be the thing.
Do you want him to win it just to stop hearing about it?
I really do. I like him. I have always liked Denny Hamlin. I mean, there's not really ever been a time that I did. And look, I was a Jimmy Johnson fan. I mean, I mean, I think Jimmy Johnson's great. And but I think that Denny Hamlin is just, and I like what Denny Hamlin says, whether he's selling us a bill of goods or whatever he's saying, where he pretty much said yesterday, I think it was, 2027 is going to be done. I mean, finish out the contract, and then he's got other fish to fry, I'm sure. But the thing is,
depending on how the lawsuit turns out.
Well, yeah, that's right. He seems focused on wins to where he's kind of downplaying the whole thing. And that's the best thing I think for him at this point, is to downplay the championship thing himself, because he really has that's where he gets in trouble. It's like when you need to be laser focused, and I don't know how this dude stays focused. We talk about, Carter Taylor and Colton Birmingham having a lot of shit going on. This dude, on top of the lawsuit, it's, man, I don't know. It's a lot.
Well, the racing was good at both. I thought the Dakota race was one of the best races of the year still. And that was race number 2.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with Ed. And Ed, thank you for joining. If it's your first time, we do this every Tuesday, 7:00 Central. You're right down the road over in Temple. I go through your vicinity quite often, driving to Fort Worth. But yeah, I mean, I think the racing was excellent at both places, and I think that's where the car is still, I mean, for road racing, I mean, it's going to produce good road racing when you have these, high quality road racing drivers, include the NASCAR Cup guys, not just SVG, to where it's like when you have really good road racers, they're going to drive the shit out of this car because it's a good car. And I think that TMS happens to be in a spot right now to where we have seen this car excel is in the 1.5 miles. It
makes the 1.5 miles. That's why everybody wants to get rid of the Roval to go back to the oval at Charlotte.
Absolutely. And I happen to think that our friends at TMS, they've weathered the storm somewhat, just all the onslaught of the changes of the track and everything that they've done there, to where now that track is weathered, it's beat up, and it's producing good racing. So I think that next year we see really good races at both of those places here in Texas. But yeah, it's just a very over technical car. And you can't fault NASCAR. They're trying to save money, and that's where people are still piling on them. Well, they're not saving money. Well, yeah, they actually are. They actually are.
Yeah, the car itself costs more, but your overhead cost is, well, I take that back. In theory, your overhead cost was supposed to be less because you got rid of all that fab shop pay. But yet you're just allocating all of the fab shop money that you save by buying a kit car and put it into engineering. Yeah. Which engineers cost a hell of a lot more than fabricators.
Well, that's where I hear, like, with Hendrick, where they had the engineering part of the campus at Hendrick, where they've turned that into well, no, I guess it was the fab shop. They turned that into an engineering shop, and that's just where you're going to allocate the different money there. But and that's,
they ain't saving shit. They just spending it somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Miss Carol had Ed checking in. All right. That's what we like. That's what we like right there. And you guys, Miss Carol and Ed, tell all your friends to tune in. We need all the help we can get, as you can tell from, the stuff we talk about here. But it's like, the thing with this is with the car, and the teams are very outspoken about how much they don't like the car because you can't do the adjustments or whatever. It's very minute adjustments. And Bobby, I think we both know, and you racing people both all know, why do you not like the car? Because you can't make adjustments, because you can't hit the gray area, because there ain't no gray area. That's the problem.
To be perfectly honest, the Gen 6 car, they were all pretty much the damn same anyway.
Yeah.
Like the chassis rules, they give you the specs on the chassis. The chassis were pretty much identical anyway. You're all building the same damn car. I still think they just should have given the car of tomorrow to the teams, or not car tomorrow, the next gen car, current gen car, whatever, and said, here, build this damn thing. And I think they'd have been fine.
Well, and I think that circumstances out of everybody's whatever, COVID. I mean, COVID hit when all of that, because remember the rollout was going to be, I guess, like the year after, right? 2021, I think
It's supposed to be 2020.
2020. Okay, so you had all of that, and then just the way that all of that happened, it was just not going to be favorable for the rollout of this. And it's funny that you mentioned the car tomorrow, because it's like I see people now clambering, and I've gotten into debates on social media about this with race fans, to where it's like, you people couldn't stand that car.
It's the same complaints about the car tomorrow as it is about the next gen car.
Right. It was like, that goofy piece of junk is going to ruin NASCAR. And now it's like, oh, these were the glory days. It's like when they took the wing off, that suddenly became the just most amazing specimen that you've ever seen.
I know the Gen 4 and Gen 6 cars were pretty badass.
Yeah, they were.
The Twisted Sisters and stuff like that. To get a car that twisted to go that straight.
Yeah. And that's where, I mean, we're never going to get back to those days. I mean, this is your new thing. And short track is kind of I mean, look, when we look at crate engines, when we look at crate or spec parts, when we look at all that, what is that? That's essentially what these guys are doing at a much mega level, to where it's like, here's your box, build this. You can tweak these little bitty things, and don't you touch these things. I kind of like that part about this car, where it's like you can't alter anything. That's where, when Rooms of Doom and all these different things, you can't do anything to this car. And that's a bad thing. I'm sorry, but that's a bad thing, because it produces subpar racing.
Yeah. If the racing was better, people wouldn't bitch near as much.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Like Corso said, Lee Corso, the coach, on game day, we're in the entertainment business. Football is just our engine. Same thing. We're in the entertainment business when it comes to racing.
Mm-hmm.
The competitors want to win, but the fans in the stands, they want to see something competitive.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
the difference, because they just want to see a competitive product. Your football fans will watch football just to watch football. Your racing fans don't cross over a whole lot anymore.
Yeah. And I don't think that we'll see something that's going to, knock our socks off on Saturday night.
The tire wear could be a problem.
It could. Along those lines, with the point standings now, Joey Logano in 10th at plus 21. Chastain 11th at plus 19, Cindric at plus 11. So below the cutoff line, these are the guys that would not advance if it all ended right now. You've got Dillon at minus 11, SVG at minus 15, and then the guys really in trouble. I mean, these dudes need to win, is Bowman and Berry. And I don't know what's going on with that 48 team, but those guys can't get their shit in one sock right now.
No, they can't. They either have a speeding penalty or a problem on pit road or a bad pit strategy. I feel bad for our buddy Blake Harris.
Oh man, me too.
Because he's the one that's going to get thrown under the bus on that deal. Great crew chief. He was an outstanding car chief for years. Has a championship ring to go with it. I think that what he should have done was stayed over there at front row. But the problem is, when Hendrick says, "Come to work for me,"
oh yeah,
you go to work for Rick Hendrick.
Yeah. And what really sucks for the 48 team is I think if you go back and you look at all the cumulative pit crew rankings and all that, because they break all that down just like they do everything else, that 48 team was good for most of the season. It's kind of been right here where you unfortunately backdoor your way into the playoffs, and you're kind of at a deficit anyway when you get in there and you're in that lower tier, and the mistakes have happened. And that's just the nature of cup racing right now. When you make mistakes on pit road and make those kind of errors, that's going to sneak up and get you. And I think that the 48 will be exit stage left here.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit surprised by SVG, but not really, because the problem is their oval program was trending upward. He's qualifying, but he's qualifying 10 spots better now than he was at the beginning of the season. Problem is they can't put the races together.
Yeah. And that does suck, because coming right out of this, he'll win.
Yeah, he's gonna win Coda, or he's gonna win the Roval. So
yeah, absolutely. So we'll check that out. Up at the top, Denny and Briscoe with the wins. Larson plus 60, plus 50. These guys are all in really good shape as we work towards this. So that will be this weekend. Trucks on Thursday, Xfinity on Friday, and then the Cuppers on Saturday night. Around here, American Crate Late Model Series, the Doug Ingalls Classic at Arklatex. If I was out and about, I've mentioned my fascination for dirt late models. I think that's where I'd want to be for that one. Really good show there. And then the Cars Tour, the aforementioned Cars Tour, the popular Cars Tour, South Boston coming up this weekend.
Yeah, so man, Caden Honeycutt out there testing today because he's got the truck race to run on Thursday.
Absolutely, and you have one hell of a points race there in the late model stock car division. I think you got 1 point separating those top two runners there. So yeah. Good stuff coming up this weekend. And then locally, what do we have? We got the CBS. Our friends at Cotton Bowl will be racing this weekend. And
I-37's running, I think.
I-37 as well. So, yeah, plenty to do. Plenty to do if you're not sitting at home or
where are you going next weekend?
What is that? Next weekend, I will be sitting in my studio because that is 7 o'clock Texas football, and I have post game.
Ah. I say you should come down and check out your homegirl.
Which one?
Caitlin. 2 points ahead in the championship going into the final race.
Oh, is that championship night?
Championship night at Texana next weekend.
Dang, maybe I
on the 20th.
How good's the Wi-Fi over there? They do some post game from Texana. Oh, but I got to watch the game though. But
it's against Sam Houston. It can't be that bad.
Well. Yeah, well, you would hope.
Who was it that asked the question at the presser today?
I don't know.
Or yesterday? Who the hell asked that question?
I don't know who that was, but it's like, I love that. Who told you that? Arch? That dude like, yeah.
But we say people ask the same old questions every day. That's what I want to ask about my coach, about why he was 4th and goal at the 1 yard line and lined up in the shotgun and not under center and didn't make the score. And that was the difference in the game.
That's everybody likes to turn 4th and 1 into 4th and 6, dude. I'm telling you, I don't understand that. But the team that I cover had 4th and 1 and lined a dude up under center and still couldn't get him across. So maybe my theory is not all that correct. Not this week, last week. So maybe my theory just isn't right. But I don't know.
Hey, what's your little hashtag you got going here? Your SR.
I'll tell you that off the air.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you that off the air. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
I saw it on the ad you created, and then saw it buzzing on the scroll. So
yeah, Struro. Yeah, like when things go wrong. Struro. Oh, kind of one of those things. But great program, great conversations tonight with Carter Taylor and our man Colton Birmingham. Seriously, friends, if you are able, go out and find a racetrack this weekend. Go check out some of the great action that's going to be going on, or a streamer. I know people get torn on I don't know, if I can't go. I talked to someone and they were like, so if I can't go, does that mean that I shouldn't watch? Am I doing something wrong? I'm like, no, watch.
Yeah, watch.
Yeah, it's like I go back to the streaming thing where it's like, man, back in the day when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I love streaming. Hell, I've been home all the time. It's cool at home.
That's right. Cheaper. Beer's cheaper.
Restroom right down the road. All that good stuff we always talk about. Yeah, good stuff. And yeah, good weekend coming up. The heat's coming back to Texas. Good luck to everybody that's going to be heading out to racetracks. You, my man, what you got going on the rest of the week?
Got another game in the Dome against Incarnate Word, the battle for San Antonio. Hopefully they can show up and do just a tick
damn, you better win that one.
I know. Hell of a game, though, on Saturday. 6 or 7 lead changes throughout the game. So that was...
I didn't see the whole thing.
That's what a rivalry game is supposed to be like. So...
yeah, no, it's good. It's very good.
Arizona State got beat by Mississippi State, and the Kitty Cats are going to Arizona State on Saturday night. So
watch them Bobcats, man. Watch them Bobcats. They're looking pretty good.
This might be the year to get ranked. Watch out for USF too.
Ooh, yeah, that'll be a good one. They win
USF
this week.
and Miami Yeah.
They win this week, and there's going to be a lot of ecstatic people and a lot of pissed off people if that all works itself out. Full weekend coming up of racing, full weekend of college football, full weekend of NFL. And there it is right there. Here is our parting thought for my man, Josh Spencer. I would pay the price of admission to watch on stream if I couldn't make a race. I like that.
That's
But
right.
I think, and if that money goes to the track, that's great, because I think that's where there seems to be some disconnect with some people, but that's a different story. All right, Bobby, have a great rest of the week, my man. Thank you all for being a part of the program. Again, we do it every Tuesday right here, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, talking to folks from all along the Gulf Coast and right here in the great state of Texas. Hope you enjoyed the program. Like, share, subscribe, and tell everybody what we do right here. He is Showtime Bobby Chaffee. I'm Rodney Rodriguez. We look forward to seeing you guys next time on another live edition of the Revved Up Sports Show. Be well, friends.